So as I stand here and listen, I'm hearing thunder and lightning. At least I'm hearing thunder. Lightning is not far behind. Because of that, I'm probably going to take a bit of a pause for a minute. Maybe the rain will quit, maybe it won't. But I can tell you one thing. I certainly don't like the feeling of water dripping down the back of my neck. If it has to happen today, it has to happen. But I'm not going out there and getting struck by lightning. So we'll take a bit of a break. I've got some hot sludge. Maybe before that thunder and lightning gets here, I'll talk briefly about what we're going to be using. Just inside that door, I've got my Husky 555. That's my go-to chainsaw. I've been using that thing for years. We'll talk about that in more detail later. And the star of the show, my Wallenstein FX85 on the back of my tractor. This thing right here is going to do all the heavy work. So this thing is a winch, obviously, PTO powered winch. When I pull these ropes up here, what it does, it pulls the cable in and obviously gives me that pulling power that I'm probably not going to get with these pipes. On the back, we also see some of my choker chains. You can see them right here. I tend to carry some straps as well. The straps are typically what I wrap around a tree that I'm using for an anchor. Then I can hook up stuff like this. Let's get off there. Stuff like this pulley, all right? No particular brand affiliation with pulleys in the least. I like this one though. This is made by Ranger, works quite well. Got a grease fitting on there. So that gets hooked onto the end of my strap there. And that acts as my anchor point if I have to redirect the cable in any way. As I said, I got my choker chains. Got a good slip hook on there. And then this is on the other end of that choker chain. And this goes through that slip hook. And obviously allows me to tighten up that chain on the log. You guys would have seen, if you've been around the channel for a while, this winch is relatively new to me. Like, maybe we'll be going in before long. This winch is relatively new to me. I can't remember exactly how old it is, but it's probably a good 6 months or so. What I did so that my chains aren't taking the paint off my winch immediately is I put these little rubber mats down here. I just drilled a hole in it, hooked it on the hook, and it sort of sits there. You guys will also notice, although it's fallen off, I keep a second strap on here. You never know when you're going to have to use that strap for various things, even lifting. Don't tend to do that a lot because it can fray, especially when you're skidding, but I do tend to use it. On this side, we got some extra lengths of chain. Some are chokers, some are longer. And then this right over here, you may have seen before. I've used it with a different winch, my chainsaw winch. This right here is a snatch block or a pulley, but it's self-releasing. So once the cable gets to the end, it'll kick itself off. And that is very handy because then you don't have to walk back to whatever tree you're anchored at and have to pull the cable out of the snatch block manually. So you'll see that in action potentially. But that's my general setup on the end of my winch line here. You guys can see we've got our various keyholes. Got 3 in total we can hook our chokers to. This one in particular actually is not to hook a choker to. This bell wraps around a log and then comes right back in here. That tends to be my last log. Anyways, that's my winch. This is my tractor, my Coyote. That's what we're going to be using today. And as I said, we got to take a break because I do hear the thunder coming and I'm not getting hurt today. Here we go. Well, that hurt a little bit, but it needs it. All right, guys, well, we made it out here. The rain quit, so that's a positive. Let's have a look at what we're dealing with. You guys can see we've got a bit of a hilly area here. I've been around this area a little bit in some videos, not too many. There's one of the balsam firs that have tipped over. That's got to come out, and if we make our way over here, there's another one. And let's just jump in here. We're going to get soaked because it just rained, but what the heck, right? You guys have a look there. That's sort of the issue. So these get infested with ants and all kinds of stuff after they start rotting, and well, this is probably rotten up to about here. So I need to get it down, and I want to get it down so that it doesn't fall down when I don't want it to. Bit of a clearing behind me, and I want that to be an open area without trees falling in it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get this one out, just because it's got a fork up at the top, and we'll make our way back out It's got a fork up at the top, and the fork is jammed right into another tree, so I'm not sure what we're going to do there. I'll have a look up there. See way up there, guys? See the fork in the top of the balsam fir? It's right in line with this other one. Now, I guess I could cut this one down. The only concern with that is if I start cutting this, there will be some chance that that tree could actually let go before I want it to. Last thing I want is a tree to fall when I don't want it to, because then I can get hurt. So we're gonna have to figure something out. I might try to take that tree that's already broke off and try to winch it backwards, have it fall that way, and then pull it out this way with the winch. I think that might be the best option. I don't know. As for this one, this one's all hung up. You guys see up in there? It's all hung up in the canopy there. I could just try to pull it down this way, or I could do the exact same thing and try to pull it backwards and then pull it forwards. Well, let's rig her up and see what happens. Here we go. Well, what do you guys think? This is gonna work? Hope so. Oh, was that a frog? Okay, I just put that on backwards. All right, well, here's what I came up with. You guys can see the winch cable coming in. We've got that poplar right there, which is an anchor. I've got the snatch block on that. I'm hoping this tree, which is leaning, will get pulled back towards that poplar just enough to unhook it from up top there in the canopy where that fork is going around this tree right here. If I can do that, then it'll fall somewhere in here and it'll look like I know what I'm doing. If that doesn't work, well, we'll get it down one way or another. Well guys, that was a nice ride out here. The tractor had absolutely no problems going up some hills with this stuff. We went through some narrow stuff, some muddy stuff, no issues at all. Inside the tractor cab, you guys probably didn't know it, but had the radio going. I have some sludge left over and the air conditioning was blowing pretty hard, so it was pretty comfortable. The humidity is extremely high right now. It did rain, but the humidity came back with force. We're going to finish this off for good right now before I melt out here. What I'm going to do is limb this thing, then we'll buck it to length. One of the reasons I brought it out here sort of as it stands as a tree is because I can deal with the brush out here a lot easier than on that nice lawn area that I cut. If I leave all the debris out there, then I got to go and pick it up. And if I try to pick it up with a grapple on the grass, it's probably going to tear it up. So bring it out here, cut her up, put her into a pile like that one. And if I want to chip it, I chip it. If I don't want to, well, it sits there for the critters. So we'll get her cut to length, get her unhooked, and then we'll probably call her a day. Here we go. Well, I can tell you that definitely put some sweat on my brow. I'm not out here pretending. I'm definitely feeling it. Aside from it being really hot out and me wearing flannel, I'm just chugging back the sludge today, and that's probably not the best thing for being hydrated, but nonetheless, that's what's happening. We made some logs here out of those balsam firs. You guys can see we probably got 2, 4, 6, yeah, about 6 10-footers there. Some of them will be 2x6s, some 2x4s, depending on how it works out on the sawmill. That's going to be next time. I'm going to get back here with the grapple. We'll push all the brush out of the way. I'll pick up the logs. Next time around, we will load it onto the log deck, because this is not where the sawmill belongs. It belongs in the log shed, or saw shed rather. I'm going to get in there, start doing some cutting before long. That way we get the lumber finished. We also get that lumber ready to go out to that pirate ship playground, and we can get that finished off. I'm just sort of admiring my work here. I'm noticing a little bit of molds popping up here on the side of the log, but besides that, all looks good. So that's where we're headed to, guys. I'm glad you joined me today. It is definitely a beautiful life out here. If you have a chance to get out, run a power saw, maybe run a sawmill, who knows, maybe even driving around in a tractor, you're going to really enjoy yourself. I find it's a wonderful time out here, and not too many other places I'd rather be. Guys, you all take care. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.